All right, so now in this particular topic, we are going to study about the difference or the advantages of vector quantization over the scalar quantization. As we have already seen what actually the scalar quantization is and what actually the vector quantization is, and we can compare these particular two quantization, and the conclusion states that vector quantization has more advantages over the scalar quantization. Now let's see how it is. We'll consider these particular as a summarized form of the advantages of vector quantization over scalar or vector quantization versus scalar quantization. The first point which I told you at the first stage of the earlier topic, that was the input symbols are grouped together called vector or blocks and process them to give out the output. While in scalar quantization, each input is treated separately, that is independently, and then they produce the output, due to which the optimality of the quantizer increases. So if anyone asks why the optimality of the quantizer, vector quantizer increases, so this is due to this particular first point. But this is not the case for SQ is written for scalar quantization, because each input is treated separately. So the optimality is less as compared to the vector quantization. Next point, vector quantization is considered to be more efficient, while the scalar quantization is considered to be less efficient. Now you can see these particular points can come in MCQ also, multiple choice questions also, and you can attempt for those. In vector quantization, the granular error is affected by two things. Firstly, by the size, and secondly, by the shape of the quantization interval. While if we talk about the granular error in the scalar quantization, it is determined by the size, by only the size of the quantization level. While in the vector quantization, it is with the size and the shape. Now, in this particular, we have in the vector quantization, we have Qx that is equal to Yj. If dxyj is less than equal to dxij for all I is equal to j. And for Qx, that is for quantization, is equal to yi only. If bi minus 1 and x is lying between bi minus 1 and bi. Next point, vector quantization is used for low bit rate applications where low resolution is sufficient. That is why image compression is the application where vector quantization is majorly used, because here we can work on the low resolution. While when we talk about the image compression and the scalar quantization can create lot of noise in decompressed image, which is not acceptable. So for image compression, which one is better? Vector quantization is better for the image compression. Next one, for a given rate, vector quantization results in lower distortion than the scalar quantization. So the distortion is lower in the vector quantization, while in scalar quantization it is greater. So these are the summarized form of vector quantization versus scalar quantization, and from here you can conclude that the advantages of vector quantization are more over the scalar quantization. Now let's see this particular in detail. First point, vector quantization can lower the average distortion. How it can lower the distortion average? With the number of reconstruction levels held constant. When we can hold the number of reconstruction levels as constant, it can lower the average distortion. So this is the reason for lower average distortion, while scalar quantization cannot. Next point, vector quantization can reduce the number of reconstruction levels when the distortion is held constant. So it is vice versa. You can lower the average distortion by holding the reconstruction levels, number of reconstruction level constant, or you can reduce the number of reconstruction level by holding the distortion as constant. But this is again not possible in scalar quantization. Third point, the most significant way vector quantization can improve performance over scalar by exploiting the statistical dependence. We have already seen the statistical dependence in the earlier lectures. So with the help of this, by exploiting the statistical dependence, we can improve the performance of vector quantization, while we cannot do it in scalar quantization. Next point. Vector quantization is more efficient. We have already seen this is more efficient, but why this is more efficient? Because the output, the source output values are not correlated. They are not correlated. Next one is scalar quantization. In one dimension, the quantization regions are restricted to be in intervals, and the only parameter we can manipulate is the size of the interval. That means if we talk about scalar quantization, we have already seen that in one dimensional, there is a restriction on intervals of quantization region. We can only manipulate one parameter, that is the size of the interval. We can manipulate the size of the interval only in the scalar quantization. But it is not the case in vector quantization. We can divide the input into vectors of some length n, and these quantization regions are no longer restricted to the rectangles or squares. So we can divide them into any infinite number of ways. So this particular restriction is not the case in vector quantization, that is in the scalar. Now next point, we have seen that the granular, we were talking about the granular error in the scalar quantization. So it is affected only the size of the quantization interval, while in vector it is affecting the size as well as the shape of the quantizer interval. Next, 7th point, vector quantization provides more flexibility towards modifications than scalar. So this particular flexibility is working on towards the modification increases with the increasing dimension. If we increase, we have seen the L dimension. If we increase the dimension, we can increase the modification. So the flexibility is more for modification in vector quantization, because we can change the size. We can work on with the infinite number of levels. Lastly, what we have vector quantization that have improved performance. When there is a sample to sample dependence of input while not in scalar quantization. This we have already seen the first point, that is in vector quantization we have blocks, that is vectors of data, that is being source input and source output as grouped into blocks or vectors, while in the scalar quantization we are treating each sample as separately. So that is the main point. This is how the performance of the vector quantization improves. So that's all for this particular lecture. I hope you must have understood this. Thank you.